Hello, this is WickedSlink, back some more chess.com. Um, we're going to go ahead and clear up these windows. It's pretty annoying. We're going to go ahead play another game of 1510, as is my custom. And we'll see what we can do. All right. White pieces once again. Oh, okay. This is different. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, and I guess we're both trying to. He's going all out to control e4, and I'm going all out to control e5. So uh, there's that. I guess I need to be careful with his advanced f pawn there, but all right. Okay. All right. I guess I do need to be very careful. Let's go ahead and instead of doing the triangle setup, I'm going to grab a little more space. Interesting. I don't know what that gets you, but we'll see. I need to get my king to safety before I can try what I want to do. Let's go ahead and increase my control of e4. Make it harder for him to sink his knight in there. Um, I want to castle. Okay, so yeah, that's to be expected. He's probably waiting. I have to be really careful now. Um, do I need to put off castling for a turn? Um, okay. All right, I'm going to take a moment to breathe and think here, because he is going to launch. I think I need to fight. Okay. I need to change the fight from the fight over d5 to d6. And let's see. Ouch. This is. I'm going into unknown territory here. He's got a good setup. Um, you know, it may be that I have to switch the fight. I have to switch the fight to e4 and challenge that. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to switch the fight. Okay, yeah, you're not coming in. You're not coming in there. All right. All right. Do I? Oh, okay. My bishop hangs. Okay, I can't do the break yet. All right, I'm going to have to castle. Okay. Wow, my bishop does hang. So, so yeah, I need to get out of danger. Okay, very nice. Uh, 1, 2, 3. Um, all right. Um, yeah, I need to break anyway. Um, so, my D4 is very tender. Um, let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, so when the dust is cleared, it looks like I've got more space, and his pieces are looking silly. Um, well, not much to think about here. Okay, oh, I have to be very careful here. Let's, go ahead. See, what are you going to do with the pawn? Are you going to make a defensive move or an offensive move? Now, if he moves the B rook to E5, my queen's going to zap right into the B7. So if he goes rook B8 over to E8, my queen's going to go in. Well, yeah, and his knight's got nowhere to go. Um, that got him thinking. That got him thinking. Okay, that's actually a reasonable line. Um, but that only delays the decision. Well, I think that just wins me a pawn, though, because it's like, where are you going? unfortunately, a pawn up on the king side, otherwise equal position, isn't quite winning. But a lot of people are unwilling to trade queens here. Okay, okay. Well, all right. Okay, he won't be able to penetrate. My knight keeps him from penetrating with his rook. So I don't necessarily have to challenge it right away. I could continue to pile up on the E file. Um, how, let's see, his knight's got an out now. Okay, so none of those tricks work anymore. All right, let's think about this. Okay. You know, I'm going to make him, I'm going to make him take me. All right, so now if he moves his other rook over, I can either grab two rooks for a queen and pawn, but I'm not sure I want that kind of imbalance. Or I could just trade down into a rook and knight versus rook and knight. Um, okay. All right. Now I've got to be really careful. But um, that that pawn is hanging though. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I could just force. I can just force the issue, and I may as well. Okay. Well. Whoa, didn't see that coming. I don't think it's worth it. Well, um, well, defensive or offensive? Let's go offensive. I can always switch back to defense. Um, I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's going to gain you. Um, okay. Sure. um, Now I do have to be careful. But yeah, I don't see any issues here. Okay. Now I can't go. I have to be very careful. I can't double up over there, but I can put pressure on that pawn. All right. All right. Wow. He's forcing me to burn my time. I think if he tries this check rather than going into a back and forth and letting him trap me on the back row, I may actually work my way forward. Knight H4 check, and if he comes back up, even come up to um, F4 from King G3 to F4, and use my king as a fighting tool because I have the big pawn advantage now. So um, oh, interesting move. Um, now he's making me think again. So, but yeah, there's no reason not to take, take here, and here. Now what? Okay. Um, check. All right. All right. Okay, I have to watch my time. Um, okay. Well, what you gonna do? All right. Um, I'm just, I'm literally going to just trade off that knight next turn. And I'm going to march my king forward. I'm, I'm going to do this. This. Because I have a protected passed pawn that he can't get to. I don't care. What you going to do? Where are you going to go? Where are you going? Where are you going? He's there. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Sucks to be you. Yeah. Yep. Don't care. Yeah, I'm gaining time because I'm just going to scoop up these pawns and I'm going to march a king pawn down. There you go. Game review. I don't understand that sacking his rook for the knight. You know what? I mean that was the turning point that lost the game for him. You won with a nice tactic. No, it wasn't a nice tactic. My opponent blundered again. Hikaru, stop saying the same thing over and over again. All right. Okay, review. And now this is where Hikaru tells me, "Oh, you should have done this. You could have
Nice
done
grab of
this. You
that
could
free
have done
piece.
this." And it's like, well, yeah, probably, but you know, uh, you know, uh, oh, look at that. That's probably where he made his blunder right there. And then it was just, all right, 94. So that's 2 games in the 90s in a row. My opponent played 86, so he played okay until he blundered. All right, let's look at this. Okay, no blunders for me. 2 inaccuracies. Otherwise, everything was good. He had 3 inaccuracies and a blunder. Um, so, so yeah. All right, let's.
Okay, so you're grabbing space in the center early with the queen's pawn. Solid opening, I like it. The Dutch defense controls the center, but somewhat weakens black's king side,
All right.
developing the bishop and fighting for the center. They brought their knight out. Now they have some center control. All right, all right. Getting that bishop ready for action. Good plan. That move? I see your opponent is clearing the way for their b to jump into action. Developing the knight and controlling the center. Good strategy.
Right.
Your opponent could castle kingside, securing their king. Good move getting central space. Your pieces will have more room.
All right. So far, so good. It wanted me to create a little buttonhole for my bishop, but
I like their choice.
yeah, he's preventing expansion on the queen side.
Developing the knight and fighting for the center. Kingside castle by your opponent, getting their king to safety makes sense. Getting ready to castle kingside. Good stuff. That move? I see your opponent is clearing the way for their b to jump into action.
Yeah, that pawn restricted a lot of what I wanted to do. Um,
Bringing all your pieces onto the same attacking line. Good setup. Your opponent is moving their knight into the game, huh? All right, let's see it. Excellent move, well done.
right, because I didn't want him bringing his knight in, because that would have lost me my bishop there and disrupted all my plans. So
This move doesn't help their position at all.
right, so yeah, it was kind of like, okay, that would have been actually a good move for him, a really good move for him. To get rid of this bishop, because I know this bishop was a thorn in his side a little bit. Um, but I would have had to been very worried about him getting trapped.
Castling on the same side as your opponent is a solid strategy. They just didn't find the right idea, yeah.
Right, he's still doing this stuff on the queen side, that's my side. He doesn't need to be, and that didn't give him anything. So yeah,
Your better
that's
option was to prepare a retreat square for the king.
well a retreat square for the bishop, but yeah, yeah, I understand. So, but yeah, I was changing my plan from to pushing this pawn and uh, fighting on these light squares. So uh, by removing this knight, it increases my control over the light squares, so I could do my e4 push.
Your opponent fianchettoed their b, a great way to control the sauce on the long diagonal.
Which is good, which was good, but that actually weakened his light squares that I was about to attack. Now he's because I don't care about this. Well, I do care about it, but I'm about to reduce his control of it by
You
taking
were
the
threatening to
knight.
capture a
Or
pawn
yeah,
and win material after the follow-up trades.
right. And I may have been better off trading first. The bishop takes knight, but I did foresee the line of these exchanges when he captures with the knight of taking the bishop. So
Fair
I
trade.
did
Your
foresee
opponent
see
exchanged pieces of
this.
equal value. Cool, cool. Trading equal pieces. Fair
Yeah,
trade. Your opponent exchanged pieces of equal value. Cool, cool. Equal trade, nothing fancy.
right.
It's a simple trade by your opponent. They exchange the pieces. That's the only move. You found it. Equal trade.
That's the only move. Yeah. Well,
Fair trade. Your opponent
yes,
exchanged.
seeing
You
all this.
recaptured the piece. Good. They slipped up a bit here. Not the worst move, but definitely not the best.
All right. And then this is when I put pressure on his pawn.
Good coordination with all your pieces. Nice.
All right.
Your opponent challenged your central position. They want to fight
Yeah,
for
see,
space.
I was going to slip if he'd done this other rook trying to keep two pieces on this file. I was going to slip my queen into to b7, but the computer says, yeah, you need to abandon that and move your rook onto the open file as better than pushing the pawn. But he's there like it's like okay, but you had a better move.
Snagging that pawn. A clear recapture from your opponent. Okay, nothing crazy here. Take, material captured.
All right. Well, I am a pawn up, so
Their
there's
rook is active now. Open file. Okay, gotta watch out for that.
it's like my bar actually went up some on that.
Your best move was to challenge the opposing rook for the open file.
I thought about it, but it was like the idea of tripling pieces on here was
That is playable.
pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, it attacked this pawn, but you know,
Solid defense. That pawn is safe now.
yeah,
It's a simple trade by your opponent. They recapturing the piece. Gotta do it.
right. So that was the best protection of the pawn was to trade queens.
Okay, your opponent is leaving a hanging rook. That's free real estate.
Yeah, that was I don't know what he was thinking of doing. I mean, he played so well up to that point, and then just like tossed away everything. All right,
That rook was
yeah,
free for your opponent's knight is on a more active square now. Good for them. Good for them. You got the rook out of danger. Good job.
right, and got him to the seventh.
They played one of the best moves in the position.
So they could bring their rook in to the seventh rank. Yeah. Um, Yeah, okay.
You got the rook out of danger. Good job.
But the thing was, if he came in with the rook to the 7th, then I would just challenge it with one of my rooks. So,
Decent move, but they had a better one. They really did.
yeah, the knight kind of like getting itself into a better position and then attacking this pawn as well. So,
Free pawn, that's how you snag a juicer.
yeah.
They are threatening to win material through a fork. You stopped your opponent from being able to win material through a fork.
Yeah, that was easy. So I'm 2 pawns up now, and that theoretically, and the exchange up. 2 pawns and the exchange. So I'm like 4 points up. They call it actually 5 points because of my rook on the 7th. So yeah. At this point, I should have a 1 game as long as I don't do anything doofus.
They are right on target.
All right, that's his best move.
Excellent choice, my friend.
Right, it's like I get to capture this pawn and protect my weakest pawn on the queen side. So that's the threat.
Their block stopped your attack on their pawn. Okay, play on. Simplifying the position with trades, good plan.
Right.
A clear recapture from your opponent. Okay, no, that's a spicy fork. You'll be winning a pawn just like that. They defended their hanging knight. Okay. You change your pawns together, good stuff.
Yeah, because if I had taken the pawn right away, I'd have lost this one, and I'd have lost the second. So it's like, let's consolidate the pawns and link them together, and then win the pawn, because his pawn's not going anywhere until it did go somewhere. But yeah, what's the eval say? It's saying like 5.
The pawn slips away as your opponent avoids material loss.
Right. And I think I did this in between move first.
Excellent move.
Yeah, it liked it. It liked just taking the pawn too, but it was like if the king didn't protect the other pawns, I could have like take and then scoop up those pawns over there. But
They're avoiding the check by your rook. Good for them.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, they were gonna say, well, you should have fought. So I wonder if the eval will go down on this pawn push.
A pass pawn is dangerous. Gotta watch
No,
out.
best. Okay, it's best. That's what I thought, was turn the pawn from a liability into a threat. So yeah.
Your opponent's getting their knight to a safe square. Not bad.
All right, and I think I checked and probably moved the rook behind one of these pawns. I would suspect. Okay. Eval is 5.16, so it's still going up.
You got the rook out of danger.
Oh
Good
no,
job.
I just went directly behind the pawns. And force, yeah, because that forces his king to kind of keep protecting that. And I was thinking like I was going to push this pawn here, and everything would be safe,
What a move from your opponent.
safely locked up. Okay, that's his best move.
Free pawn.
And
Nice. They defended their hanging pawn. Nice.
right, and then here I lock things up.
That piece is on a powerful square. Good move.
Oh yeah. Because I was like, I was going to switch the attack over to the other side because his knight, and if his knight like went up, I was going to protect this guy first and still threaten the kingside pawn. So yeah.
They defended their hanging knight. Nice, nice.
And I could have traded now and won the game, but I went ahead.
That's a strong
I
protected
had
pass
this.
pawn, clean.
That's the best move. Um, but then I saw at this point, I saw that like, okay, now that I have the majority, pawn majority on both sides, and I have a protected pass pawn on the queen side, that I could just operate on the king side and win the game. So,
Your opponent's blockade is stopping
all
your
right,
excellent move. Definitely the best choice here.
best choice, right?
They
So,
took your free rook. That's fine move, fine move. Oh,
yeah,
your opponent's king is blocking your pawn's way. It's slowing down your one of the best moves available.
yeah. He wanted me to go straight up, but I wanted to kind of
That is not a mistake, but they
confront
definitely
him.
did not find the best move here.
Yeah, he needed to go back and kind of try to defend the king side pawns while remaining within the square, within this square. Okay.
Getting the opposition and blocking the king, what a solid endgame move. Your opponent's blockade is stopping your... You got the opposition blocking the king. Nice endgame technique. Decent move by them, but they definitely had a better one.
All right.
Nice move. Well done.
Yeah, they were saying I should just march a pawn down and all that, but
Your opponent is making a pawn chain to create a solid structure. You moved your king away from the checking pawn. I respect that. They are right on target, yeah. You made that pawn easier to target. Good stuff.
yeah, I could have just ignored it. I could have taken that a move earlier, ignored all that other stuff, and just run a pawn down. So yeah, at that point, I was just wanting to just secure stuff up and not lose a one game. So, but again, his king can't go down to the fourth rank because then this pawn, or his fifth, because this pawn just runs up in queens as soon as he does that, and he doesn't have time to come over, capture, get his king out of the way, and run this pawn down. So yeah, another win. Um, I guess 1373, still moving ahead. And I hate to win on a blunder. Didn't really learn much in that game. Um, I guess I figured out. I figured the need to change plans, because in my opening setup, I had a plan of, you um, controlling these dark squares and possibly doing some combo on c7, but he prevented all that, and I had to switch plan and attack the white break on the white squares rather than attacking on the kind of loosening my control on the dark squares and switching it to the light squares, um, which seemed to work. And Hikaru didn't object to the plan. Ended up winning a pawn and was able to um, improve my pieces until my opponent blundered and uh, win the game. So that's it. Another win in the books, and that's all I got for today. If you watched the end of this video, thank you very much. Go ahead and like it. This is not a monetized channel, so if you don't like it, if you don't subscribe, it makes no difference to me. But if you did watch this game all the way through, yeah, just go ahead and do a like. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, then dislike it and tell me why in the comments. Um, and that would be helpful. But anyways, this is Wicked Slink signing off.